Okay, so I wanted to make a video real quickly talking about a couple of things before I do this review. Number one, this is going to be a quick gun stock review. I'm sorry to Cgrip. I wanted to make something special and add some details about, like, should you even buy a gun stock or stuff like that. But during time constraints and also unforeseen circumstances, for example, my cat will be passing along here tomorrow whenever I'm, recording this. It's very difficult times right now for me and my family in 2025. It's been really rough, so I still wanted to get a video out. So to Cgrip, I wanted to make this video for you. I'll make a quick review of the gun stock. First of all, let's just get it out the way. 4 out of 5. It's probably my most favorited gun stock to date. Personally, for me, I'm not a big fan of 3D prints. I'll show you here. This is the Cgrip Gunstock. It's really great. I really love the flatness and also the wideness of the stock itself. I think a lot of gun stocks usually try to go for something thin and sleek. Doesn't work like that, especially if you're holding an actual weapon in warfare. It feels really comfortable to use. Second thing I really like is the open grip. You're able to slide in your controllers pretty quickly and effectively without having to deal with the hassles of trying to find your gun stock in the first place. And to be honest with you, I love that. I love being able to know where my gun stock is at, know exactly where I need to put my gun stock and my controllers at, just slide it in and call it a day. Love it. Third thing, I really love the textured grip on here. You may not be able to see it, but there is a textured grip on not only the pistol grip, but also the foregrip as well. So for those who have sweaty hands, you're in luck. You have something to actually grip onto for dear life when you accidentally start sweating on people, on contractors, going 80 and 0. And the final thing that I really love is this brand new gun stock. This is the original stock and the cheek rest. This is the new one. What I love about this one the most is the adjustability, being able to slide down or slide up, whatever you feel like is comfortable for you, for your stock and stuff like that. Love it. It's a little rudimentary, but I think it works out pretty well. Now, let's talk about the negatives. First of all, I'm not a big fan of 3D prints, as you can tell. It still looks pretty raw. You can see the little bumps here and there. Feels a little unpolished, but from what I've gathered and the information that the person who's behind all this told me, that they're using a 0.6 millimeter nozzle for the 3D print, which is why you have these more bumpy / unfinished style of gun stocks, which that's understandable completely. Totally understand that, but at the same time, I just wish that more gun stocks did a little bit more polishing, just sand it down a little bit before you send it off. But that's just me personally. Maybe I just am not a big fan of just 3D prints because of the textures themselves, like the rawness. It kind of feels like a prototype more than anything else, but it is a really good prototype. Second thing I don't like is the wideness of the new stock. I have a weird cheekbone. Obviously, maybe it's just me, but I really like the roundness of this one, as you can tell, versus the wideness. When you compare the two together, it's really visible to see how that's going to look. But at the same time, I do like more of the surface area here because it feels a lot more comfortable on my shoulder and it's not like pinching into my nerves or anything like that. And I would say the final thing, and this is something I know that this person really enjoyed making. For me personally, I don't like the way the Cgrip has this vertical hold of like the pistol grip for a pistol. So right here, as you can tell, this is actually meant to be used with the pistol. You're supposed to grab onto it and be able to use the pistol without any issues. For me personally, I wish this was adjustable. I know it probably costs a little bit more, but if there's a way to adjust it to be more like an angle like this, so it's a little easier for people to be able to grip onto the controllers and stuff like that, and the gun stock while holding a pistol, I would like that a little bit more than what you have now. But out of all the little nitty gritty parts, I dropped the gun stock. Those are just really nitpicks of the gun stock. And to be honest with you, they're very minor problems for the gun stock. All in all, I really like this one. And I'm not sponsored, by the way, to Cgrip. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies other than AMVR, Poggers, and Starforge, which is a PC company that you all know and love and is backed up by other you know, big content creators out there, but I want to say that ahead of time because there's been a lot of really big issues when it comes down to trustworthiness of content creators and stuff like that. I just wanted to get that out and say that if there's anything that I am sponsored by, you would probably understand that I am going to be talking about stuff about it that is good and not necessarily anything negative, unless I get the A-OK to make a review or make some remarks that I think is needed for the video. But all in all, I just wanted to say that ahead of time. If you want to see the product yourself, it's in the description down below. But let's also talk about the problems that I've been having recently, especially with content creation, life stuff, and everything in between. Now, first of all, I did want to make a video about gun stocks in general with VR and the complications of whether or not you really need a gun stock or not for you to succeed in gaming. But in reality, there's been a lot of things going on. Obviously, I've been dealing with a lot of family issues, i.e. there's been a death in the family, i.e. I had my cat basically going to pass away tomorrow as I record this, so it's going to be very difficult for me to upload more consistently. There's just been a lot of rocks thrown towards me and my family lately, especially in 2025. It's been super rough, and I'm not even talking about the worst things that have happened in 2025. That's just one of the things I'm dealing with now. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's been very difficult. I feel very frustrated. If anything else, I'm very frustrated at VR in general, and I've been wanting to talk about this for a minute, but I thought I'd just do a TLDR. I think VR is not it right now. I think it's in a limbo space. There's been a lot of complications, and especially as a content creator, to try to record gameplay with a Meta Quest 3, for example, and in somehow and in some way they keep fucking up the software for me to be able to record easily any content that I'm trying to record. And maybe that's just the PC VR link or the Air link or whatever else, but Meta does not care about PC VR. That's obvious because their headsets are meant to be standalone. But I really want to make videos on VR games. The difficulty of it, though, is that it's difficult to make videos when the hardware doesn't even want to fucking work in the first place. Shit, I bought a $85 Prism XR like little router. Basically, it's like an extension for your PC to connect directly to your headset, and I'm still having fucking issues with latency, lag, frame drops, and everything else in between. And maybe it's just me, maybe it's just my computer, but at the same time, I've seen other people deal with this problem as well. And whenever I've seen gameplay footage back in like 2023 or 2022, hell, even with me personally, I found it a lot easier to record gameplay footage on the Quest with PC VR back then versus what it is now. And I'm just so fucking done with it. I'm just done with trying to figure things out. I'm done trying to solve the problem so I'm able to make content. I just want to make content. So VR is off the table for now. Sorry for those who are disappointed. Sorry for my sponsors. I just can't. It's a struggle right now, especially for hardware and software design for how VR headsets are and the way that everything is designed. It's very complicated for my feelings. It's very complicated in general, and I'm just so flustered, frustrated, and pissed off, if anything, especially at the VR community. Don't get me wrong. Let me backtrack and let me explain in detail. For me personally, whenever I try to find a solution for something, it's either buy something that you don't need, but you're going to need it now because everything keeps fucking up, or wait until the next line of VR headsets come up and maybe try out some of these third-party apps that you'll need to look up on YouTube to find the tutorial for and to make shit work. And I'm just so done. No wonder why VR is going down the drain right now is because of the complications of it. And when someone told me in the community, if you're not willing to work to try to make your VR headset work on PC VR, then you shouldn't have VR in the first place, which is such a fucking bullheaded answer. And I hope that person understands that is a stupid answer. That is so fucking dumb. TLDR, I'm frustrated at VR and the industry and even the community for that matter, and I want to make a video about it for such a long time, but I didn't know how to really put it into words because it sounds like I'm just whining. And to be honest with you, I am whining a little bit about the whole thing, but can you really blame me with all the things that have been happening to me recently? I've been trying to keep my composure calm, cool, and collected, but this is more the raw version of me. This is the more emotional side of me that you normally don't get to see on my channel too often. And I'm just frustrated. I'm sick and tired of things not working. And to be honest with you, I'm going to be heading back to playing extraction games on flat screen. I can't deal with VR right now. Somehow and in some way, Meta keeps messing up further and further and further for PC VR connectability, and I don't want to record gameplay on standalone because it looks ass. I'm just done with it. I really am. So, that felt really good to get out, actually. Holy shit. For the most part, though, I am struggling mentally, physically, and spiritually as well. I know that probably a lot of people are saying, well, just, fix it and stuff like that, but it's much more than just to fix it and call it a day. There's a lot of things that I have to process. There's a lot of things I have to get done. There's a lot of things that I'm still figuring out. Like tomorrow, I'm going to do an ADHD appointment, see if I have ADHD, and try to figure out some of the things that I'm maybe frustrated with, or maybe find out if I have something at all. But the reality of it all is this: I'm going to find a way to make content, better content than I have been making now, because I care to entertain people and to entertain myself in the process. But for now, VR, it's got to be off the table. I don't think it's worthwhile, and I don't think that it's in a time or place to really be happy for VR. There are things in the future that we can be excited for, but it's very difficult to be excited about something when everything keeps messing up every single time. So it's really tough to say. But that's it. I just wanted to get that rant out there, and also the Gunstock review out, because I really wanted to talk about these things, and I also wanted to talk about the problems that I face as a content creator and the problems I face as a human being. So again, I apologize to Cgrip about this whole video being much more than just a review and also a rant. I hope you know that I love your Gunstock. I think people should get it. I'm not affiliated with Cgrip, to those who are wondering. I do have a link in the description down below if you want to check them out themselves. Really good Gunstock. If you want to get more competitive, I think it'd be a really good Gunstock to invest into, especially for $35. That price can't really be beat. But yeah, that is it for me, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I will check you guys next week on Friday. I have something special cooking up that I'm very excited, but I'm going to be doing a lot of processing, especially with what's going on. So that's it. Deuces. Take care, y'all.